The political battle over India's future electoral map has now escalated into a full-blown constitutional confrontation. Congress Parliamentary Party Chairperson Sonia Gandhi has sharply criticized the centre's proposed delimitation exercise, calling it nothing less than an assault on the constitution. Her remarks come at a crucial moment, just days before a special session of Parliament where key amendments linked to women's reservation are expected to be taken up. In a strongly worded opinion piece, Sonia Gandhi has questioned not just the substance but the timing of the government's move. She has made it clear that the opposition is not against women's reservation. That debate, she says, is already settled. The real concern, according to her, is the attempt to link this reservation to delimitation, especially before the next census is conducted. At the heart of the controversy is the government's reported plan to move ahead using older population data, potentially from the 2011 census. This could significantly alter the political balance across states. Delimitation, by definition, redraws constituency boundaries and determines how many seats each state gets in the Lok Sabha. And if done without updated and accurate data, critics argue it can distort representation for decades. Sonia Gandhi has also accused the government of bypassing democratic consultation. She pointed out that the opposition had written multiple times asking for an all-party meeting after the West Bengal elections. That request, she claims, was rejected. Instead, she alleges, the government has chosen to push its narrative through public messaging rather than structured political dialogue.
Look, we have not seen the draft of a bill yet. I know that they are planning to call Parliament on the 16th. I will be in Delhi for that. But we need to see a bill. We need to see what they're proposing. We need to understand the mechanics. We have to figure out the implications for federalism, for the functioning of the legislature. Parliament is a very important body. We call it the temple of our democracy. Will there be 800 odd MPs? In that case, will anyone get to speak? How does this function? All of these issues have to be discussed threadbare before a decision is taken. We are in favor of women's reservation, but there are many ways in which women's reservation can be brought about. And we need to know what exactly the government is contemplating, not just rely on media rumors.
नहीं, उन्होंने चिट्ठी बहुत विस्तार से और बहुत अच्छी चिट्ठी लिखी थी। उस चिट्ठी का मजमून ये है कि आपको मैं एक उदाहरण देता हूं। 23 में ये बिल पास हुआ था, नई पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग में आने के बाद ये पहला था और हम सब ने समर्थन किया था। हालांकि हमारी जैसी पार्टियां हमेशा ये कहती हैं कि कोटा विद इन कोटा के बिना इस तरह की कोई पहलकदमी सार्थक नहीं होगी और वो इंद्रधनुषी चरित्र तो कभी नहीं होगा। हैविंग सेड दैट, दूसरा महत्वपूर्ण पहलू है कि उस वक्त आपने कहा था कि सेंसस होगा, फिर डिलिमिटेशन होगा और फिर वुमेन रिजर्वेशन को हम इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे। मोटा मोटी आपने 2034 का जिक्र किया था। ये 30 महीने हमने क्यों बर्बाद कर दिए? अगर यही कुक्ड अप फॉर्मूला डिलिमिटेशन का और रिजर्वेशन को इनकॉर्पोरेट करने का होना था, 30 महीने का लैप्स, डिले, हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल? कोई माफी मांगेगा इसके लिए? क्योंकि चीजें बदली नहीं, सेंसस हुआ नहीं और सेंसस बेस्ड डिलिमिटेशन की कोई चर्चा नहीं है। मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं कि पत्र ईमानदार पत्र नहीं था प्रधानमंत्री जी की ओर से, और उस संदर्भ में आप खड़गे साहब के पत्र को देखिए, वो सिर्फ कांग्रेस की ओर से आपको लिखा प्रतीत होता है, लेकिन तमाम विपक्ष की चिंताएं उसमें शुमार है।
They will do everything because of these elections. Women reservation bill is pending for the past more than 15 years in the parliament. What did BJP do during the last 11 years which they are ruling? Since 2014 to 2012 years, they are in power. What did they do? They have not taken any action. The bill is passed in one house. It is pending in the other house. Bill is already introduced and it is pending for passing in the other house. What steps they had taken? They introduced everything which will spoil women, which will spoil farmers. They have introduced farm bill. They have introduced a Muslim triple talaq bill which will put Muslim people in jail. They have done every bad thing, but they had not taken up this bill. Now because they want to show off that BJP is working towards the welfare of the women.
The Congress sees this as more than just a procedural issue. Party President Mallikarjun Kharge has backed her stance, suggesting that the real agenda behind the special session is not women's reservation but delimitation and the delay of a caste census. These are politically sensitive issues with far-reaching implications for representation and power balance in India's democracy. On the other side, the government maintains that the reforms are necessary and long overdue. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju has urged the opposition to support the proposed changes, framing them as part of a broader effort to strengthen democratic structures and ensure fair representation.
कांग्रेस को सामने नहीं आ रहा है, बाकी कई ऑपोजिशन पार्टी ने भी सराहना किया है सरकार का एफर्ट से। ये वुमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल जो आ रहे हैं, ये तो किसी एक पार्टी का विषय नहीं है, ये पूरा पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज और देश का विषय है। नारी शक्ति, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, ये तो सबका लक्ष्य होना चाहिए, इसमें राजनीति नहीं करना चाहिए। महिलाओं को जो अधिकार मिलना है, इसमें क्या राजनीति करना है, इसमें तो सब एकजुट होकर के पारित करना चाहिए।
तो जैसे कांग्रेस की डिमांड है ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग की, और वो कह रहे
वो
हैं
अभी समय कहाँ है, चुनाव में सब लोग बिजी है।
हाँ जी,
हमने सब पार्टियों से बात की, कांग्रेस और 2-4 पार्टी नहीं आया, लेकिन वो भी महिला विरोधी तो नहीं दिखाएंगे, इतने तक तो नहीं करेंगे, मेरा उम्मीद है।
बट अगर उन्होंने नहीं किया तो सर फिर भी
दिल का विरोध तो नहीं करेंगे, मुझे उम्मीद है।
थैंक यू।
But the numbers tell a bigger story. If the proposed changes go through, the strength of the Lok Sabha could increase dramatically from 543 seats to potentially over 800. That is not just an expansion, it is a structural shift, and such a shift without consensus is bound to raise questions. This is why the debate has become so intense. It is no longer just about a bill, it is about the process. It is about whether major constitutional changes should be rushed through a special session or debated in detail with all stakeholders. The government argues urgency, the opposition sees a tearing hurry. The government calls it reform, the opposition calls it overreach. What is clear is this: delimitation is not just a technical exercise, it shapes political power. It decides who gets represented and how strongly, and once implemented, its impact lasts for years, even decades. As Parliament prepares for a crucial session, the country is watching closely, because at stake is not just legislation but the very framework of representation in India's democracy.